irritate me, but always something. Oh boy, always something. You know what I mean? It's got to be that part. Of course it is. Man, it's always something to aggravate me, man. You fix one thing and another thing goes. It's always the way. Working on my sister's bathroom, and because we had to turn the water off and on sometimes, my bathroom is not working properly now. I swear, man. But you know what? I pray that, things don't happen to me and my family, like health wise and shit like that. And in return, God says, well, I got to give you something. So he says, I'm going to aggravate you with your plumbing. And when you go get a shower, you're going to be irritated because, your water's not going to be working properly. You're still going to get a shower. I'll ease you up, buddy. So when I got a shower the last 2 days, the water's not been, it's trickling out. It's not really pressurized. And it's only the hot. And it's only in my shower. Nowhere else. Down here, that works perfectly fine. So the plumber said that it has to be some dirt in the line. He has to take it apart, shut the water off again, take it apart, and check it out and clean it all up. I'm like, of course you do. Always some fucking bullshit to irritate me. It's like a never ending story. But you know what I said? You say, you know what, Mark? It could be worse. Something bad could happen to you. That's just easy aggravation shit. Let's put it that way. Okay. Pretty hilarious how people are. I think it's funny how adults act so petty sometimes and do petty ass shit and get all upset over their own reality. I don't know why people are so like sensitive these days, but sometimes it's not even like these days. It's just a specific person that's sensitive all the time, and you're like, why are you like that? But there's certain people you can't joke around with, and there's certain people you can joke around with that won't take shit personally. But it's really weird. Whatever. I'm not really worried about it, to be honest. Come around if you don't come around. If you don't, I really don't give a shit. It don't make no difference to me. But I noticed that one thing I noticed that being on here for years now, there'll be specific people, right, that you deal with. It's so weird how it happens, because like there'll be somebody in the chat that's like annoying or like weird, and it's happened throughout the years, right? That there'll be a person that I don't really care for, and they're just annoying, and then they'll leave and never come back, like never. I'm not talking about people who come and go. I'm talking about like people that never come back. And as soon as that happens, like 2, 3, or 4 new people will come, as if to say, yeah, the pain, like the people that were a nuisance and a pain in the ass are gone. So now you can have like some decent people back in your chat, or around you. That's not going to aggravate you like that person does, And it's so weird, because that's all that takes. All it takes is like someone that you don't really like and that's negative, like that negative energy that they bring, it's gone. So like a decent energy comes in to replace it. And even if it's not a negative energy, it's an annoying energy. And you're like, you don't get tired of fucking aggravating people and fucking talking about your fucking self every day. Like that's what I notice. I notice that when I get somebody in here like that, and they aggravate me and shit, or they aggravate people in the chat. Sometimes it's not just aggravate me, they aggravate others, And when you get somebody like that, and then they're gone, and they never, ever, ever come back. It's like you get all this, like, positive people around. That's the joy of it. Like, it was meant to be for that person to not be around so you can gain others. And you know what? Sometimes I think there's people that you gain were already looking and seeing like, yeah, I can see like this person is annoying, so I don't even want to come in here. Like, because they probably saw that person in another room and said, oh God, they're in here too. It's like, it's weird. So weird. But that's how it goes, though, That's how it really seriously goes. It goes like that sometimes, where you be just sitting there like, what the fuck? You'll have that moment where you're like, look at that. That person's gone. Look at all these cool people that replaced their dumb asses. And maybe the people that I'm talking about will hear this, and maybe they won't. And I don't really care if they do. But like, it makes me laugh, like how you never learn. Like I'll sit here and fuck you off, tell you about yourself, tell you not to do certain things, and then you sit there and blame ADHD, ADD, fucking whatever. You need some damn D. That's exactly what some people need, and if that's why they're so fucking weird, because they need shit. Some people need sex, and some people don't even care. But you see what I mean? Like it's like certain people, they just I don't know, man. It's just hard to explain. They're just it's like some people never understand or they never get it. Like they don't get the memo. You know? I don't know why people are like that, dude. But it's not everybody. I mean, there's some people that can be annoying at times. And then there's other people that are like, we have what the fuck moments with, you know? But it's not like a big deal. It's never a big deal to me. I really and truly don't care, you know, but it's just like, have common courtesy for everyone else. You know, don't you ever say to yourself, like, don't you ever say to yourself, let me just take a chill pill, like, you know, and not talk about certain things and just see how everybody else is doing for once. People are so selfish, they just don't want to, they just care about one thing, and that's themselves. And when I get that vibe from people, whether it's here, anywhere, work, 'cause I work with a person like that now, that all they do is talk about themselves 24/7. I did this, I did that, I did this. You know, when I talk about myself, I'm making a comparison, or like I'm just saying, you know, this is what happened with me, or this is my experiences, or whatever, you know. But like it's like some people just don't get it. They just say to themselves, I don't care about this person. I just want to talk about my fucking self every day. People like that are never gonna like understand that people really don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Because these people are not really like your buddy and pals you see in real life. But they honestly like have nobody else but themselves, and then they make themselves so miserable. And then it's like they probably realize that they're a pain in the fucking ass. Hey Tanya, how you doing? Absolutely. You have to put yourself first. Hey Barbie, if you can't beat him, then join him. Well, you know, there's a lot of I've been talking about annoying ass people and how annoying they are, and you know, I noticed that every time I say something to somebody, they get an attitude with me because I'm trying to tell them to, you know, better their life or stop doing something that's annoying, you know? And then they get mad at me like I'm the bad guy. Or I should just keep my mouth shut and just let you annoy the shit out of me and everybody else. So that's okay, right? Like, and then when I say something, I'm like the worst human being on earth. So if I don't say anything, something's wrong with me. If I do say something, I'm a bad person. And like it don't make any sense. Like, so what do you want me to say? Just be like a bump on a log or something? Fuck. Stupid ass fucking people. Um, I do that. My grief overflows into self expression. I forget that others have feelings too. Well, I mean, that's fine. Like, you know, I mean, even before I was grieving about anything, I just think that people in general are like very selfish because they only talk about themselves and deal with themselves all the time. And I don't know why people like don't get it. If for instance, if I tell you something, right, which I do, all of us in here talk to each other, encourage each other, give advice to each other, have experiences with things we don't, and then tell each other about what's going on or how each other is, right? So if I tell you, hey, look, my opinion and my advice, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because if you do, you're gonna get yourself caught up in this, this, and this. And then a week later, you do the exact same fucking thing that I told you not to do, and then the next day you complain to me about this happened and that happened, and that's why this is that, and and then you say I have HD, I have DD, AD, fucking I have this fucking disorder. No, you don't. You know what disorder you have? You don't fucking listen to anything. That's your problem. That's what everybody, a lot of people's problem is. When they complain to me, I say, you don't have those things. You think you do, but you don't. Because you want to make an excuse for how you act. When in reality, all you gotta do is tell the truth, be truthful, don't be annoying, don't care about just, you know, yourself all the time. People have feelings and lives, and they need, they have times where you never know what somebody's going through. You know what I mean? So like, why are you gonna put yourself in a predicament where it's all about you all the time? That's not right. Especially when you're in someone's domain, in someone's like life, or in someone's chat room and shit. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. You don't understand. Like, no, there's other people around, or you don't care about nobody but yourself. But it's not just like in here. I'm talking about in day to day life. I work with this guy. He's the mason here, and he's my friend and all that. But like, I dread working with him because all he does is run his mouth all fucking day. He's an Aries, and all he does is talk about himself, and that's what Aries people do. They talk about themselves all fucking day. I did this. I do that. Oh, but I know this, and don't tell me I know that. Oh yeah, you heard about so and so? Oh yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, I got a fucking headache. Yesterday, I had a headache from listening to him all day, and I try to get away from him. And he'd be like, yeah, listen, listen. You don't know, so and so. And I was like, look, man, I don't really care, bro. I don't really care about anybody else's life. I got my own problems. I got my own life. All I want to do is wake up every day healthy, take care of my mom, my nephews, my life, my friends. I want to DJ. I want to be a psychic. I want to be a maintenance person. I want my life to just be simple. I don't care about what the fuck you know and what you don't know and what you think and what you don't think. I really don't. Because I'm not going to sit there and bore you with my life and tell you about myself all damn day. Unless you ask. Now, if somebody says, hey, Mark, what do you think about this? I'll elaborate and tell you a whole 5 minute story about what I think about something. Or I'll sit here and lecture you about how the fuck you should act in your life because you're a grown up. But I'm not perfect. Never will be. But don't sit here and fucking talk about your damn self all day. Fuck's sake. Like, that shit's annoying as hell. I just don't like people like that. When you talk about yourself all day, that means you ain't got nothing but on your mind but your damn self. Well, there's a problem with my shower now. Because these pipes are like, old, and the house is 30 years old now. And some dirt must have got into the pipes. And my apartment is the last run, so it has nowhere else to go but here. So now when I turn on my hot water in my shower, it doesn't come on. It's like it's blocked. So then I told the plumber, I said, look, ever since you've been working over here, we turned the water off a few times, and now my shower's blocked. And he says he's going to come here after 5 o'clock and fix it. He's going to take everything apart and clean it. And I said, well, I know it's not your fault, but of course it has to come over here, right? Which is cool. I don't mind, because One thing about me, I was saying earlier in my life that I ask God for health. I ask God for protection. I ask God for little things, and I have things like this happen that are aggravating, but it's not life threatening, or it's not a big deal where my life is ended, or I'm like, oh my God, I got to take medication. But of course, the way this house was built, it was built for the apartment to suffer the consequences and not the main house. Because the end of the water lines come here, it comes to this side, so it'll bypass everything and come here. So my sister comes home today. I have to go pick her up in another 2.5 hours. So I told the plumber, look, if you can fix my apartment, I'll be greatly appreciated, because I don't know. I have to turn the water off again. Then he has to take the dirt out of the actual shower head and the pieces and all that bullshit. So that way my hot water will work, because it works down here, no problem. See, it's on. And I told him it works everywhere but my shower. So he says, well, the shower piece might be clogged up. So he says he'll check it out for me. So I'm like, of course, it's always fucking me, right? But then again, I said, you know what? I'm not going to bitch and moan about it. At the end of the day, I'm healthy. I'm very grateful for my life. Then I got some more bad news today. And I had to put down my dad's bike. My dad's motorbike, it's fucked. It's 20 years old and the gearbox is messed up. And she said the gearbox isn't going to last any longer, and they no longer make parts. And if you do special order the parts, then if you can special, I mean, they can special order the parts, but it's going to cost way too much money to bring them in and to fix the whole gearbox on a 20-year-old bike. So they said it's not like, it's not worth fixing it. So they asked me what I want to do with it. So I called my mom, and my mom said, well, what the hell you want me to do? I said, you might as well get rid of it. It's 20 years old. So it's been through it's had its days. So then I told the lady, look, just get rid of it. Send me a bill. She goes, are you sure? I say, yeah. I said, what do you want me to do? Fix a 20-year-old fucking bike and then it breaks down again? I ain't got no time for that shit. Fuck that. Hell no. Hey, kitty, how you doing? Yeah, it's all good. I see you still washing dishes from three. Yeah, I know. I'm still washing dishes from 3 days ago. Shit. You know how it goes. I get lazy. I just let them stack up. You know. If that was the case, shit, people look at me different. I didn't have much dishes to do. I did them all already. They're all done. I'm just here talking. So yeah, I got to get rid of my dad's bike now. It's not fixable anymore. It's kind of shot now. So I got a good year out of it, because before he passed away, he gave it to me. So I was like, you know what? I got to go through such a hassle to change it to my name. I got to get a death certificate. I got to go to the insurance. I got to take a piece of the will to say that I'm his son, all this bullshit. So I was like, you know what? It's not worth going through all that money, time, and effort, you know. So I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Well, that's what the situation is now, Kitty. She's gonna call me back. She's gonna talk to her manager, and they're gonna ask them, because see, they can't sell the bike, right? Because it's fucked, and they couldn't sell it anyway because I would have to give them the paperwork. So they said that the bike's so old that no one even has one that they fix that they know of, because there's no parts, right? So I kind of knew that was gonna happen, and I don't want no secondhand shit, and they don't even have any secondhand parts. She says she has no other bike like that in her yard. So I said, look, sweetheart, it's not a big deal. It's my dad's bike. He gave it to me for free. It's 20 years old. It's had its days. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on parts and get it all fixed up for nothing. And it's 20 years old, I'm like, look, I don't really want it. It's like a memory of my dad, but I don't really, if I don't have it, it's less of a memory I have to deal with. And my dad wouldn't even care. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about that bike. He couldn't even ride a bike no more. That's why he gave it to me. So he didn't really care about the bike. He got his use out of it, and so did I. So at the end of the day, I told the lady, look, my final decision is either, you could buy it from me for parts, or you can just throw it in the fucking trash. And she says it takes $75 to dispose of the bike. I say, yeah, go ahead. I don't give a shit. And the owner of the bike place is my dad's friend. So I'll just donate the bike to whoever wants parts off of it. If they call me back and say they'll take it for parts, I'll just say, look, you can have the bike. At the end of the day, you know, the owner of the place and my dad were great friends. I know the family, I know the guy. Just like fucking take it. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck about no bike. I'm not gonna hold on to things like. Yeah, I kind of feel that way. Yeah, I cut shit out, Kitty. That's the my Aquarius in me. Yeah, I mean, Tanya, I thought about you today because you had to get rid of a lot of stuff from Phil, and I know it was hard and you didn't want to do it, but you had to do it. And it's less shit to aggravate you with. But I talked to my mom about it, and my mom's like, "Look, the bike's old, Mark. Who cares? Just get rid of it." And I'm like, "I know." I said, "I wish I can fix it because I wanted to do it for my dad." You know, um, but then I said, "You know what? What am I gonna do? Wait months and months for parts to come in just so I can fix it, and then it'll break down again? It's 20 years old. If I fix one thing, something else is gonna break." So at the end of the day, it was free. My dad gave it to me for free. I couldn't even sell that bike if I wanted to because nobody has those bikes anymore. I haven't even seen one of those bikes around because it's too old. And it's an old bike. It's not modernized. It's not a piece of shit, but it's close, you know? So, and it's less something that I have to worry about and look at and remind me of my dad. Because when people saw me on the bike, they're like, "Oh, you got a bike?" I was like, "It's my dad's." "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Nah, it's okay. Don't worry about it." You know, he gave it to me before he passed away. So now I don't have to worry about it no more. It's less one thing I got to take care of. Exactly. So it's all good. Like, I'm not upset about it, to be honest. I'm kind of happy that I don't have to deal with it no more. And my nephew that's in college, he's got a big motorbike next door he got for his birthday, and I have to ride it so it doesn't, so the battery doesn't like die. So he said, "Look, bro, you got my bike. Just use my bike until I get back. And if you need a bike, you can always use mine. Who cares?" And I was like, "I know." I said, "I'm not really a fan of being on a bike anyway. I don't really like bikes like that. I used to, but I have my van and it's good enough for me, and I don't really care about a motorcycle like that. Plus, it's winter time here. I don't feel like being all cold on a bike anyway, so it don't make no difference to me. I don't give a fuck." So, so I told the lady, "Look, I'll pay you the money to get rid of the bike, or you can keep it for parts. All I care, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. It's not my bike anyway. It's my dad's. He's gone, so it don't make no sense keeping it or dealing with it. You can't sell it anyway. You can only sell the parts if you had to, which I don't really care. I don't really give a shit. I don't care about no damn bike." So yeah, that's uh that's what happened today. They gave me the bad news that the bike can't be fixed. But in a way, it's good news in a way, so that way I don't have to worry about it no more, and I don't have to be attached to something that reminds me, you know. And my dad had an accident on that bike too, so I'll just leave it at that. I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it no more. It's time to let it go. So I guess my dad didn't. I guess my dad probably, because I heard the bike making noises, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this bike again. It's fucking old. It's fucked." And I got the last stand. There's like a stand you put the bike on. I got the last stand like about 2 months ago. That was probably, yeah, it was before my dad died. So it was like 5 months ago. I bought a brand new stand for it. It was like $90 or whatever it was. And I was like, you know what? I'm not spending no more money on this damn bike. So yeah, I don't need a bike and I don't want it. And I'm just willing to just let it go. I don't care. It's all good. It's not a big deal to me. So yeah, but I just consoled my mom first because at the end of the day, the bike really belongs in her name because she's the wife. So I said, Mom, look, the bike's pretty much finished. She's like, oh, well, just get rid of it. Don't worry about it. Put it in the trash. And I'm like, okay. So I got her consent to get rid of the bike. So yeah, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, Tanya. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. It's hard getting rid of things, you know. It's hard getting rid of things that belong to my dad, but at the end of the day, I knew he wouldn't give a shit. I really knew. Because my dad's the type of person, oh, well, my dad had a saying when you get secondhand things, you get secondhand problems. You buy someone else's problems. And when I got that bike for free, I told him, I said, yeah, you want me to have the bike because you know it's gonna give me problems because it's secondhand. And look, secondhand problems. He gave me the bike and I have to deal with the secondhand problem. So you know what? Fuck that bike. I'm done. I told the chick, look, she's gonna talk to her manager and let me know. So I'm willing to get rid of it. And I said, if you guys want to buy it for parts, you can. I don't really care. But if you don't want to buy it for parts, you can just get rid of it. Cut it in half and take it to the fucking dump. I could care less. I'll give you $75 to get rid of it. Go right ahead. Not my problem. I could care less. But even if they give me like $100 for it or something like that for parts, I'll just take it and just, put some flowers on my dad's grave or something like that. I wouldn't even care like about the money. I'll just go buy flowers for my mom and then we'll go put it on the grave or something like that. Because at the end of the day, it's his bike. So, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all good. So yeah, now I gotta wait for this plumber to come so he can fix my shit. It's always something, man. Always some bullshit I have to do. But like I said, I'm grateful that I have nothing bad, health wise or personal wise in my life. Little plumbing and little bullshit like that. I'd rather take that or any time than, have some mental fucking issues or some health issues or something like that. So yeah. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock now, so he should be here in a bit because he knocks off at 5. He says he's working right around the corner. So I'm gonna get my ass out of here and I'll be back tonight. I have nothing to really do tonight. So but get my sister. I gotta go pick my sister up at the airport at 7 o'clock. So that's in 2 hours. So once I pick her up, hang out with her, have dinner, she's probably gonna go to bed early. So I'll see you guys later on tonight. Then probably a couple hours from now, I'll be back. If I'm not around, you can always go see Kitty. She goes live, talks a lot of shit like me. So if you have time, you can go visit her. And Tanya, Barbie, I will see you all later. Hi, Monique. Bye, Monique. How you doing? I'm getting out of here. I gotta go meet the plumber in a few seconds. All right, guys. I'll be back later on. Okay. Take care.